I'm here with Dr. Ramona Graves from the Colorado School of Mines, of course, in the U.S. So thank you so much for taking the time to join us. Let's have a look back, and when we talk right now about the big energy transition, you'll always say this is an industry that has been in transition for a while. Talk to me a little bit about that. I find it interesting.
Thank you. You know what? Thank you for the interview. It's always fun to speak with you. Yeah, I've been in the industry for 40 years. And probably the biggest change in 40 years, and especially as I look around this conference, is the number of women and professionals in the industry. I can remember 40 years ago, it was 3 or 4 women and me. And so there's a transition, yes, there's a transition in technology, there's a transition in diversity, but we're an industry that's always been in transition. But now is a very exciting time because we're transitioning, especially with the workforce, quicker than we ever have in the past.
And again, of course, that brings with us many challenges, and it brings with challenges for everybody in the industry, because people really have to probably, adjust how they think. And many people talk about it's time for a new mindset as well as everything else.
It's always time, maybe not for a new mindset, but for an open mindset. I'll tell you, being in academics for 40 years, the youth, their ideas, what they have to offer, we older people are more mature, shouldn't be afraid to take their ideas. Technology especially is changing fast. How we interact with the young people, with the young professionals, it's changing rapidly.
Now again, when we look at what needs to be done with academia and with the industry, people say there's huge competition for talent now, and sometimes say there's not enough talent, they're not being attracted into the industry. What can the industry do, and how would it make your life easier to actually perhaps work closer with them? We see you at all of these events, you're very, very active with the Society of Petroleum Engineers, with all of the young professionals and all that, but you must want more from the industry.
I want people to come to this industry because we are such an important global industry. We are a positive effect on health. We're a positive effect on people. We really are a positive effect on climate. But the younger people, especially in the secondary education and many college people, don't see us that way. But we are. So I think we as an industry and as a Society of Petroleum Engineers, we have to do a better job of telling our story. We have the most fantastic story.
And indeed, this is what I think we hear too from many of the frustration from many of the senior leaders here, that the perception in the industry is not where we want it to be. And without a doubt, I think the narrative has been very much taken over by the clean and green environment. And again, it comes back to, I think, the science, the knowledge that's in this industry, and you will appreciate that. When one side says it's all science-based, I would imagine you'd say it has always been science-based.
It's always been science-based, but we as an industry, and I think this is where the youth are going to help us a lot, because they are savvy. We have not communicated to society very well for the last, 100, 150 years, and now we can communicate quicker, we're more in tune with what's going on. We used to think we're good, we don't have to tell people that. Now we have to. We have to focus on our strength and the positives we do for society. Water, clean air, CO2 sequestration. There is so much that we can do, and we just have to do it.
Now we're here in Saudi Arabia. This is the first time IPTC has come to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. We're here in Dhahran. Saudi Aramco is only up the road, the first well that was drilled here. There's a history even in this, maybe a shorter history, but there's a huge history for the energy sector and the oil industry right here on our doorstep. It's very exciting to come here, and we're of course thrilled you're here. Tell me a little bit about how important too that such a big conference and exhibition comes to Saudi Arabia for the first time, and it's not going to leave, I hear.
How important it is to the industry and to the kingdom. Yeah, I think it is phenomenal. I've been here, I believe this is my 5th time in the country. I have many former students that are now with Aramco that are executives. I taught many of the petroleum engineers that work for Aramco. And the enthusiasm, especially the young women, the younger men, the diversity of thought, the openness, the technology. I can remember even 20 years ago, a lot of Aramco technology was driven by expats. This is not true now. Their young engineers, their PhDs in their technology centers, they are driving the Saudi industry. And that's just a wonderful thing to see.
And I guess personally for you, there must be a tremendous element of pride to come back here and to meet what were once your students who now are leaders in this industry.
It is, and I noticed the smile. I just can't. I've been just seeing them walking past, looking at me as we're doing the interview. It really is quite gratifying. It really is, and especially to see them doing so well, impacting not just the oil and gas industry in Saudi Arabia, but globally.